You're staring at the wall, your jaw tightened so hard it hurts. You just heard them say it. They looked you dead in the eye and accused you of the very thing they are doing right now. You're in a stupor. Your brain is short-circuiting because the sheer naked audacity of their lie feels like a physical blow to your chest. You're searching for logic in a place where logic went to die a long time ago. You feel the heat rising in your neck, the desperate urge to defend yourself, to point out the obvious truth. Stop. That reaction is exactly what they are harvesting from you. You think you're going crazy, my friend, but you're just being played. I used to be exactly where you are, stuck in the mud of their delusions until I learned their dark secrets. I am here to wake you up. If your situation is uniquely complicated, drop your story in the comments. I read them and I will break it down. But today, let's dissect the holy delusion. This technique requires you to be incredibly lazy. You will do absolutely nothing, but very strategically. I call it the inertial strike. They have used this trick on you because it always worked. But today, their game ends. They will remember this day. And at the very end of this video, I will give you the one exact phrase that shatters their control permanently. Watch closely. Here is how they were taught to survive their own rot. I call it moral osmosis. They don't just lie, they leak. Like a cracked pipe, their internal guilt builds up until it has nowhere to go, but onto you. They aren't choosing to lie in that moment. Their brain is literally offloading the weight of their own filth to keep from drowning. They need to believe you are the monster so they can remain the victim in their own twisted story. This didn't happen overnight, my friend. It's an invisible escalation. It started with one small compromise years ago, a tiny lie they told themselves to feel better about a mistake. Then another. They built a massive cathedral of lies brick by brick, and now they've lived in it so long they've forgotten where the exits are. To them, the cathedral is reality. You are just the intruder bringing dirt onto their sacred floor. They use a tactic I call the halo leak. Because they've convinced themselves they are good, spiritual, or principled, any bad thing they do is immediately rebranded as a test or your fault. If they steal, it's because you were greedy. If they lie, it's because you aren't trustworthy. They wear a glowing halo that drips poison onto everyone standing beneath them, and they expect you to thank them for the light. But before I give you the antidote, you need to see the trap in action. Imagine you finally work up the nerve to catch them red-handed. You bring up their behavior, expecting an apology, or at least a shred of honesty. But instead of a confession, they launch a nuclear strike. They look you in the face with genuine tears of hurt in their eyes and say, "I can't believe how selfish you've become after everything I've done for you." This is the projection paralysis. Your heart hammers, your mouth goes dry. You're literally stunned into silence because your brain is trying to find a logical bridge between what they are and what they're saying. It's like watching someone covered in mud tell you that your shirt has a speck of dust on it. You're in a stupor because you still believe they are playing by the rules of truth. They aren't. They aren't even seeing you. They are looking into a shadow mirror. Everything they hate about themselves, their laziness, their greed, their cruelty, is being projected onto your face like a movie screen. To them, you aren't a person. You are a garbage bin for their unwanted traits. They feel clean only when they make you feel dirty. Your confusion is their fuel. Your stupor is proof to them that their lie is working. Your first instinct is to explain. You want to show them the facts? You want to say, "But you did this and I did that." Listen to me. That is a death sentence for your mental health. In their world, facts are irrelevant. They are in a state of spiritual delusion where their feelings are the only truth. You cannot use a map to find someone who has burned the ground they stand on. Every word you say in your defense is just more evidence. They will twist against you. They want the fight. They need your defense. Why? because as long as you are defending yourself, you are acknowledging their accusation as a valid topic of conversation. You are feeding the delusion. You are giving their lie status. But I'm going to teach you how to starve them. It starts with the most difficult move in the playbook. You must accept that they are not misunderstanding you. They are recreating you. You want to fight because you think this is a trial where the truth matters? It isn't. This is a staged performance where you are the only one who doesn't have the script. Every time you open your mouth to explain your side, you are just handing them more material to rewrite. I need you to stop moving. I need you to embrace the stupor and turn it into a weapon. We are moving from the trap of their logic into the power of your silence. I call this the lazy magic pill, the inertial strike. It is the ultimate counter to someone in pre-list or spiritual pride. When they throw a delusional accusation at you, they are expecting an equal and opposite reaction. They need your energy to keep their fake reality spinning. By doing absolutely nothing, no defense, no anger, no explanation, you pull the plug on their entire simulation. You become a psychological black hole. To pull this off, you need the reality anchor. This is your internal shield. While they are screaming that you are selfish or unholy, you anchor yourself to one single fact. Their words are not about you. They are a weather report of their own internal storm. You don't get mad at the rain for being wet. You just open an umbrella. The anchor is the realization that their opinion of you is none of your business. Let's look at their favorite script. They will look at you with that holier-than-thou pity and say, "I've sacrificed everything to help you, and this is how you treat me? You're so ungrateful, it's actually scary." Notice the trick, my friend. They are projecting their own fear of being used onto you. They want you to feel the weight of a debt you never signed for. The antidote here is a technique I call the absolute zero. When they finish their sacrificial speech, you do not explain your gratitude. You do not list what you did for them. You simply look at them, blink once, and say, "I hear you." That's it. No, I'm sorry, no, that's not true. Just a cold factual acknowledgement that they made a sound. It gives them nothing to hook into. When the absolute zero hits, they will panic. Their delusion requires your participation. They will move to the next level of the playbook, the gaslight pivot. They will say, "See? This is what I mean. You're so defensive and cold. You can't even take constructive feedback without shutting down." They're trying to shame you back into the argument. They want you to prove you aren't cold. Now you use the stone wall. This is where you finalize the inertial strike. You respond with, "You're entitled to your opinion." This is the ultimate death sentence for their control. By calling it an opinion, you have stripped their holy truth of its power. You aren't saying they are right. You aren't saying they are wrong. You're saying their words are irrelevant noise that lives only in their head. Watch their face when you say this. You will see a flash of genuine terror. Why? Because the person in pre-list has no internal identity. Their holiness is a balloon that you are the only one inflating. When you refuse to blow air into it, the balloon shrivels. Their brain will begin to loop. They might start crying, or they might explode in rage. This is called the extinction burst. They are weak, my friend. Their entire power structure is built on your emotional resonance. They need you to feel what they feel. If they feel guilty, they need you to feel ashamed. If they feel like a failure, they need you to feel like a villain. The moment you stop resonating, the moment you become absolute zero, they are forced to feel their own rot, and they can't handle the smell. But be warned, the extinction burst is dangerous. They will throw everything at the wall to see what sticks. They will bring up your past, your secrets, your insecurities. They are looking for a crack in your reality anchor. They want to see you flinch. This is the final test of your laziness. If you can stay lazy, if you can stay still, you win the war without firing a single shot. Do not try to wake them up. This is the hardest part for you, because you have a conscience. You want to show them the mirror, hoping they'll finally see the hypocrisy and change. Forget it. Pre-list is a psychological coma. If you try to point out the truth, you are just entering their dream. You become a character in their play, and they've already written you as the villain. Save your breath. You're going to need it to walk away. Here's your next phrase for the Counter-Strike protocol. When they hit you with a delusional, moral lecture, say this: "I'm sure that's how it looks to you." This is a masterpiece of dark psychology. You aren't agreeing with their lie. You are acknowledging their perception while simultaneously separating it from reality. You're putting their entire holy truth into a tiny, insignificant box labeled your opinion. The manipulator's greatest fear isn't being caught. It's being ignored. They need a witness to their sainthood. If you don't fight back, if you don't cry, if you don't defend yourself, they have no audience. Without an audience, the performance fails. They are left standing alone on a dark stage with their own rot. This is why the absolute zero works. It's not just silence. It's the withdrawal of their life support. If they persist, use the void response. Look right through them. Not at their eyes, but through their head, as if they are made of glass. When they demand a reaction, give them a slow, calm blink. No words, no facial expression. Their brain will begin to system reboot because it cannot process a human being that doesn't react to their emotional hooks. They will feel an ego death approaching, and they will run. They might try one last desperate pivot. They'll switch from aggression to pity. They'll say, "I'm just worried about your soul. You've become so hard-hearted." This is the smothering saint tactic. They are trying to use your own desire to be a good person against you. Do not take the bait. Your hardness is actually your health. Your heart is finally closed to their poison. Keep the reality anchor heavy. When you hold the line, the shift happens. You'll see it in their eyes. A flicker of genuine primal panic. For the first time, they are forced to see that their mirror shield isn't working. The guilt they tried to leak onto you is flowing back into them. Their hands might shake. They might stumble over their words. This is the moment they realize they no longer own the remote to your emotions. They will leave, not because they've learned their lesson, but because a parasite cannot survive on a stone. They will go find someone else to be the villain in their story. Someone who still cares about being understood. Let them go. Do not try to warn the next person. Do not try to fix the situation. Your only job is to remain a reality anchor. Every step you take away from them is a victory. Final warning: do not feel guilty for their misery. A person in pre-list is a self-made prisoner. They chose to build the cathedral of lies because they were too cowardly to face their own shadow. You are not the architect of their prison, and you are not the jailer. If they are drowning in their own filth, it's because they refused to step out of the pool. Walk away and don't look back. And now, for those of you who stayed until the end, here is the master key. The deepest psychological truth about the person accusing you is this: they aren't strong. They are the most fragile creatures on this earth. Their holiness is a desperate, screaming mask designed to hide a black hole of self-hatred so deep it would swallow them whole if they looked at it for even a second. They don't hate you, my friend. They hate the fact that you can survive without a mask. If you want to end their game forever, don't argue. Don't explain. Just use the one phrase that shatters their simulation permanently. Look them in the eye and say, "I no longer require your approval to be whole." Then turn around and never speak to them again. The war is over. You won.